Hi folks, yeah, we're back, or rather I am. What I want to do next, I want to check to see if that centre spindle I straightened out earlier is actually working. So I brought Phil's deck back in so that I can check this out and find out whether it's actually working, see if it drops a record. I mean, I think I've got it as straight as I can get it, and the record table, as it's called, does move in and out now. It needs cleaning, but it does move in and out. So let's pop the spindle back in. Oh. There we go. It's a bit of a jiggle to get that in because I hit it with the hammer. But to be honest, to be perfectly frank, there was not much I could do about it. It was bent and it wouldn't work in the state it was in, so let's get a stack of records. There we go. Stick this lot on. There we go. I'm only going to do it by hand because I can't find the power lead. If I cannot connect it, is this it? No. Is that it? Yeah. We can actually power the deck up. So what we'll do, we'll give the deck some power and see how she runs. There we go. Make sure everything's away from it. Here it is. Let's rest that on there, be fine. It's not a bad deck this actually, it's a bit oxidised underneath. And that's a bit noisy. Let's try that, should go back on its own. Drop two at a time. But let's try again, you can forgive it that. One. It's a bit slow. Let's, oops, there we go. We'll test the cartridge on this as well, see if the cartridge is any good. Arm doesn't go across. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, it does. Oops. It's a bit... Oh, hang on. It was stuck on auto. That's on 45, it sounds like it's on 33. So that's working. Just try it once more. Yeah, it only dropped the one. We don't need the arm to go over, that's okay. We know it does that. Yeah. Needs a lot of work, this deck. Needs a good service. But once it's done, it'll work like it did when it was new. I'm going to call this part 1. And in this part I'll also test his cartridge. Make sure his cartridge works. Which I'm pretty sceptical of that, because they're usually dead. But that's dropping them records now correctly. So the repair on the centre spindle has been a success. That's definitely running too slow. Not hardly any torque in it. And check it switches off at the end. It does. Disconnect the power. There we go. Remove the records. Oh, would help if I managed to remove the records. With the control arm staying where I want it. There we go. So I'd say that's a success on the repair of his spindle. So what we'll do now, we'll get the leads if we can find them for the signal tracer, and we'll test the cartridge in this thing. Volume about halfway. We've got a few minutes to warm up, a few seconds rather to warm up. The magic eye is already up. We don't have to worry about breaking the valve, it's already broken. Don't have to worry about the condition of the stylus, I would have thought. But we'll take precautions and we will worry. Right, so there we go. Got output there. So what we'll do now, we'll connect our ground. I'll be amazed if this cartridge is alive, but you never know. How long for, I don't know. That's turned up pretty high. Turned up pretty high, that. And we're not getting a lot from that cartridge, so we'll deal with that as and when we come to it. Oh, that's the wrong one. I've turned the soldering iron off. That's the one. Signal generator off. Right. So we know the centre spindle now works. It drops records as it should. The underneath needs a good coating of oil and grease. The motor will need a service. The idler will need to be serviced. And for now we'll put the deck down there because we're not concerned with that for a minute. Right, I'm going to call this part 1 of the DANSETTE even. The DANSETTE Tempo record player from the late to early 1960s. And the speaker wires, oh, someone's made right monkey's breakfast. Look at this. Do you know, they're not even soldered on, they're just joined on, look. God knows where the other speaker wire is. I'll have to look in the manual maybe, see where it fucking goes. Hang on. You know what I'm beginning to think, don't you folks? I'm beginning to think that this is... Anyway, we've got to get that glass out of there. So it's a case of... These are the wrong knobs as well for the tempo. Sure they are. Anyway, let's get them off because they've got to come off because I've got to take the case apart anyway. And I've got to straighten that. Yeah, they're definitely not the right knobs. And that one. So we don't fall to bits when I pull it. Fucking hell. That's been put on there with something. Let's get it off. It's got to come off. Jesus. They're metal, them knobs. They're off something else. Alright, and this one. Gotcha. Oops. And there's the little clips that go on the knobs. It's one of them anyway. I think the other one looks like it's in there. Surrounded by big balls of fluff. These just clip on there like that to retain the knobs. Let's get the other one out. Yeah, I bet they're the originals off the original knobs, you know, because there's a lot of fluff in there. This is but it's not all about the electronics in these things, as you will undoubtedly see. Pull that plug out of there for safety. It's not all about the electronics. Sometimes I have to do the cabinet as well. That needs tightening up. But we're not worried about that for now. Not worried about any of that for now. Now let's take the knob off, the switch panel out, which is, just move the amplifier out of the way if I can. Can't, that's as far as I can move it. Right. This was actually 9,993 because it's got it there and it's got it on the amplifier as well. So it shows how many of these things they made, doesn't it? Move that amplifier chassis. I'm going to have to go all right over this thing. From top to bottom, I'm afraid. I mean, sometimes you have to do that. I mean, basically I could just chuck a valve in this and turn it on. It may work, but But there again, I could chuck a valve in it, turn it on, and it may not work. May even destroy the valve that I put in it, so. And given I haven't got a lot of VL84s in, I don't want to destroy any of them prematurely. We don't want anything going bang prematurely, we want it that screw's still held on. I thought I'd got it. Obviously not. But it wasn't all the way out. It looked like it was all the way out. That's it. I think this should have knobs on it like the Senator. It should have the same knobs as the Senator, this, I'm not sure. I mean, someone's even pinned this back on with a drawing pin in the back there. And it's passed. It's even got the tag on it there, look, the DANSETTE tag, guaranteed DANSETTE, guaranteed British made. Yeah, it was British made. Now let's disconnect this other speaker wire. Don't tell me somebody went to the trouble of soldering that and then just didn't join the other wire. No, they didn't, they just twisted them together. There we are. Right. So that's the amplifier out. That's what we're going to work on in the next part. We'll just put the amplifier there out of the way. We're going to work on the amplifier in the next part. We'll put new speaker wires in. We'll re-glue the amplifier back to here where it should be. There's not a whole lot I can do about the staples. I might have to put a couple of small self-tappers through the bottom as well to reinforce it. But you know, unfortunately there's not really much I can do about it. It's been damaged and it's up to me to, you know, try and turn this thing around. The pilot, I noticed the pilot light's missing. The holder for the pilot light isn't in it, unless it's on that chassis there. Oh yeah, it's there. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of work on this. It's couple of days, this one, I think. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. This is part 1. Join me for part 2, which I'll be filming in a couple of minutes, and I'll be working on the case and just gluing the amplifier supports back in, because I'll be taking the amplifier off the supports and then gluing them and screwing them back into place, and you know, yeah, see where we go from there. And I shall see you in part 2. Switch over now. Right, we're on the I've just removed the brackets from the supports from the bottom of the amplifier here. I'm going to pull out these knackered staples if I can. Jesus, and they've been there all them years. There's one. Oh, Jesus, they've been there all them years, them, and they're not going to give up the ghost easy. But that one's out. Let's get the next one. I mean, I could do it the amateurish way and flatten them with an hammer, but I don't do that, and I haven't got any staples, so there'll have to be a couple of tappers that go in it, unfortunately, and I'm not going to be able to make them invisible again, unfortunately. So One more. And we'll give this a bit of a sanding down. Try through the other way because the staple's leaning towards that way, so it might be easier. There we go. Got it. Right. So let's find my sanding block. I haven't got any wood paper for sanding. I gave it to somebody. I wish I'd have saved some now. Somebody asked me, "Have you got any sandpaper?" And I said yes, and I gave it some. And all I've got is this wet and dry stuff. No, never mind. There we go. Just has to have a light sand anyway. Just really to all it really needs sanding for is just to take off any top shit really, just so the amp sits a bit flatter in the case. There we are. Don't need a lot. Just so that the amp will sit, so that these blocks sit flat. Because I'll try and glue them in near enough the original position, but I'll put glue on the outside here as well. And if that cartridge is not as lively as we need, that's nice and smooth now. Rubbing my hands across that, no problems. Right. Right, I've just been through the other room to get the glue. I hope this glue hasn't dried up. Right, let's... No, we're okay. Could do it coming out a bit faster. I think it's got an obstruction in the neck, in the tube. Oh, Jesus. Oh, look at that. That was a big bung. Let's push that out. Big blob of solid glue stuck in it. Let's put it on here, because we're gluing up in here anyway, so it doesn't matter getting a bit in here. Push this through. Jesus. Use a thinner screwdriver. Keeping my fucking fingers out of the way. There we are, you see. Let's get this from around there. Get that into the ashtray. Right. Try and go through it now with something a bit bigger. Break the crust off. Hang on a minute, speaking of crusts. Oh, yeah. More than 2 sniffs to that bastard and you fucking greedy. Big blob of glue there, look at that, that's got it. Right. There we go. I think we've still got a hard patch in here, inside the tube though. I think my glue's starting to dry up, to be honest. Yeah. There we go. Some people might think I've put a bit much on there, but I don't agree. So we'll stick that. Back there. As near as damn it. And I'm using a bit more because I want it to stick like the proverbial. Put a staple in there. You can see that. Just get rid of that because it won't get the glue, won't get the wood down with that there. There we go. Gone. Now put that in so it faces. I think I'll put these on the wrong way around, haven't I? Let's just get the amplifier. It's best doing all these checks now while everything's loose and still sticky. Because if I've done it the wrong way around, I can swap it now. So, and I can see from eye I've done that the wrong way around, so I'll lift that one off. That one there. And you can see where the wood went by the position of the blocks. There we go. That went there. This one, I'd say went there, so let's just line that up by eye. Just turn the amp around the right way. There we go. Line that up, and actually that side's right. Pull this side out a bit. That side's bang on. That side's bang on. So we know that the amplifier mounts are actually bang on. Now, all I need now is some weight, or even just find a couple of screws, because I only need a screw in each side at each end of it. Flatheads would be nice, but it's finding some. Well, they ain't going anywhere, and that glue's going to take ages to dry, so shove that under there for a minute. We'll see if we can find some flathead screws. Now, where's all my screws? I did have some wood screws, but I don't know, I've not seen them for a bit. Something's accidentally turned my magnifier light on. Let's put that up there, not going to be needing that. What's in this box? Variable resistors. Yeah, I got that box out the other week for Steve to have a look through because he was after a variable resistor. Not variable, wire wound. Right, let's have a look in this box here. Nothing. And that box there is full of knobs. Yeah. Right. So I did have a box of screws, I can't think where I've put them. Oh, hang on. I think I know where they are, but there might be a slight problem getting to them. So have a look in my drawer. I'll bring you back in a minute, folks. Right, I've actually found some flathead screws. So let's see. I mean, look at that, they're stuck on there already. More or less. What I want to try and do is use the holes that were used by the staples if I can find them. Just whiten my doofer. Right. Now, there's one of them. You can tell where the staples went through. Oh, my blocks fell off. One and the other blocks fell off, that doesn't matter. There we go. Right. Well, it doesn't really matter which way these go in, to be honest, because in all honesty the fucking self-tapper screws are used. So we'll put that one back there, or better still, try and at least get it right. That way. That's that one. I've got some small period style screws to do this. Only managed to find 4 of them, that's all we need. 2 for each piece of wood. Now this is going to take some doing, innit? Pull my tool out. Pull my tool out, there we go. So that doesn't fall off. Not even sat straight at that. Now these should just eat into the wood. And they are doing. Screw them all the way in. As flush as I can get them. I mean, a lot of people think that electronics is the messing about with circuit boards and other such things, but it's not. Part of it is this. Put another pilot hole in that. There we go. Part of it, a good deal of it is this. Repairing cabinets. You know? It's not all about having your soldering iron out all the time. I mean, that is a good chunk of it, but you know, doing this is just as important as the electrical bits. Because at the end of the day, if somebody wants to use this, there we go. Let's get the bigger screwdriver and get an extra turn on them fuckers. Because they... No, I can't, that's it, done. Right, that ain't going to come out of there again. Now, let's make the holes for the other two. I don't have to fucking measure them up, I'll just use this as a guide. Well, actually I do, don't I? I want to put one here, one there. Make sure my fucking arm's out of the way. I don't want to stab myself with the tool. That's that one. And then just put one at the front here, where I can get to it. Not that that matters. There's the lump. You try this other side, it might be fucking sharper. I have got some new tools, some new ones of these, but give that a bit of a wriggle. There we go. Now, put our piece of wood in. It doesn't really matter because I'd like to put it in so it's right, but it doesn't really matter because the reason why it doesn't matter is because it's wood and you can screw the amp in anywhere. There we go. Let's see if I can do a better job than DANSETTE did. They had these in lopsided. There we go. Just get my screwdriver, see if we can do a better job than they did and get them at least straight so the holes won't line up anyway, but at least the pieces of wood will. That'll do. That'll do for me. Right, I think I need a well-earned cigarette in a minute. Get that one into position. I bet I'm not that far out anyway. Right, I don't like the fact I've had to go into the bottom here, but unfortunately there's no other way you can fucking do it really. Right, I shouldn't have to hold that, I should just make its own way in. I bet it doesn't. No, it's pushing the wood. That's not a problem. Right, keep my hand there. It should now bite into the wood. Ah, it's pulling it in. That's it. Oops, get my finger out. There we go. Just make sure that all them are nipped up good. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. They all are now. Right. Now, let's see what we can do about the top. Right, there we go, folks. And the amplifier will fit nicely back in there. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go on its own two holes. No, I didn't get them straight. But they're in there. And the amplifier will go back onto that, no problem. Doesn't matter about these bits of glue that are wandering around. I'll just rub that with my fingers. Doesn't matter about that. There we go. Bit of original vintage electronics glue. Oh, that won't harm it. Right, so that's and that's a bit. Can that be cleaned up? See if we can just clean this piece of trim up a bit. See if we can clean that out, or failing that. I don't think this is supposed to have a piece of trim on it though, was it? So where's my sand block gone? Where's that sanding block? I'm going to see if I can just clean this piece of trim a little bit because it's a bit scratched and scuffed, and I want to just see if I can just check. So I'm just neaten it. Only where it's there we go. What we'll do when we've done this, I think I'll do the deck. I don't know. I want to see, because that's coming off. That's just painting crap. That's coming off. There we are. Just gently rub it. It's actually white paint, that. Just gently rub it. It's bringing it off. Tell you what, he's going to be very happy when he gets this thing back. I'll certainly say so. I'm going to do a real good job on the amp, but we're going to do a proper sort of full whatever I can there. That's better. That's much better, that, folks. That's better. It's better than what it was, but I don't think this is supposed to have trim on it, you know. Don't think it is, but still it came with it so it can stay on it, and I think, to be honest, I don't know what Phil's gonna think, but I think it looks better on it that way, to be honest. I mean, I've cleaned that end, but in all honesty, I would have that end. I would have that side. I just think it looks better. But I'm not going to glue it into position because that's not my decision to make. It's up to Phil how he wants his trim, but I can only advise and possibly even suggest, and I'm really happy with that. Get the cloth to wipe out the excess glue from these blocks, just so it doesn't drip and run everywhere. Right. Find two nice wires so I can rewire the speaker. Get two nice new wires so we can rewire. Got a motor here, and I don't suppose this motor would mind if I was to borrow a bit of its wire. I don't think that would be a great issue. There we go. I mean, I was going to start on the what do you call it tonight, on the RG31, but after looking at, I brought this one in, and after looking at it I thought, well, this is going to be a difficult record player. I said to myself, I said, you've got your work cut out there for you, old lad. These things have to be done. I have to preserve these things because, you know, I wonder how many of these things have found their way into landfill. You know, before people thought they were worth £1 million each. You know, I wonder how many of them found their way into landfill. I mean, there must be thousands of them, mustn't they? Right, a good way of tinning your wires. There we go. There you are, you see. You want to tin your wires? Buy a DANSETTE Tempo. Oh. I don't know why, but I'm full of flatulence. And that's polite coming out of me. Out of my mouth, that is. Right. We'll see, have a look at this top in a minute, see if we can sort of effect a repair, or, you know, sort of neaten it up a bit with a bit of glue. See what we can do about that. First of all, let's tin the wires and rewire the speaker. That's the first job on this. Well, it ain't actually. The fucking first job was to strip it down and repair that. The first job was to repair that centre spindle, wasn't it? That took some fucking doing. I didn't want to snap the spindle because it would have meant I had to give up mine then, and I don't want to do that because I want mine for another deck. I've got a deck for it, so. So I didn't want to give up my centre spindle because it's for my. I've got a version of the Auto Slim in the bedroom, which I got from my friend Jay over at Jay's Vintage Junk ages ago. Okay, now this is. Look at that. You know, look at that. Some people should be prohibited by law. From going near anything. See, it was a right-handed person who did that, and I'll tell you why. Because most of the population is right-handed, and it was done in a right-handed way. So I understood that because I'm left-handed. Oops. Or as some people say, cack-handed. I don't quite like the word cack because it means something round here. Right, so we'll stick the brown, what's that wire on? Where's my brown? There it is. Oops. There we go. Now, there we are. Now we'll test the impedance of the speaker. So where's the meter? 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 Where's meter? There it is. Get the meter and move my fag papers because before I think they had a new packet. Yeah, they are, before they get covered in fucking oil. There we go. Right, let's test the speaker and make sure the speaker actually is okay. Right, I'm estimating that the speaker's going to be about 2 or 3 ohms. 4 at the very max. I've not tinned these under the leads yet, but 3.1. Yep, just under 4 ohms, which is what we want to see. So we know the speaker voice coil at least is okay. I don't know what to do next, the amp or the record deck, I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a fag. I'm going to have a smoke. Aye, definitely. Right, that's the speaker wired up. Just quickly address this top here. Just peel that back. Peel that back. Peel that. That back. Get a bit of glue. And as you'll note, folks, I've not used super glue in this repair whatsoever. Get a bit of glue, we'll need a little bit. That should suffice. Ew. I've not put the top on properly, I've had fucking glue leaking out the glue bottle. Yeah, dopey bastard. Luckily, hasn't gone everywhere. So what we'll do now, we'll spread this round. This will dry clear. There we go. Close them up. Oops. Close that one. That one and that one. There we go. Quite a residue off my finger. I mean, there's not me. I mean, you're never gonna hide it completely. I mean, it's. You're never gonna hide it completely. I mean, look at the state of that there, all smashed in. Just because some fucker didn't bother packing it properly. I mean, you put a fucking sticker or something over that. Find some way of hiding that. Right, well that's as stuck down as I can get it. Well, that piece there isn't. There we go. Is now. Right, well that's. I mean, that's as best as I can get it. I'll have to do that, I'm afraid, because not much more I can do about it. As you can see, it's not invisible. It's never going to be. Right. Right, I'm going to call this part 2, and in part 3 we'll tackle his deck. And yeah, part 3 we'll do the deck in part 3. We'll save the amp for last, save the best till last day, folks. Anyway, I'm going to have a fag and get this bit uploaded so that he can, you know, if he's about tonight, he can watch it if I can get it up in time. The video up in time, that is. I have to watch what I say, you know, I really do. And there's my sanding block. I just spotted it through the camera because I can't see over the back there very well, especially with the lid up. If the lid's up, look, I can't see. But when I bring the lid down, I can see clearly because of the camera. There's my sanding block. Yeah, but that's not too bad, that. Well, it's, you know, fag time. Join me in part 3, which will be along straight after part 2. So, don't adjust your television, the video is about to end.